All right, day 3 of fall camp. You've been through a bunch of fall camps in your career as a coach, and the first week, what do you want to accomplish?
For one, definitely want to stay healthy. Right, and the best thing is just getting better every day. Right, if we keep making the same mistakes the very next day, then we got a problem. So it's about correcting our mistakes to make sure we better and make sure we all at 100% healthy, but at our best also when game 1 comes around.
Is there anything that you've changed up in your program this year versus, well, last year was an interesting year, but since you've been here at USC?
Yeah, I'm just definitely taking better care of my guys. As far as not just coming out here and day 1 just killing their legs, just doing drills just nonstop. It's hot out here for 1, and 2 is just, I have, a lot more bodies.
Yeah.
So the depth's a lot better as far as quality and as people also. So, just able to rotate guys with different groups, and you've seen a lot of guys with the 1s, a lot of guys with the 2s, even the 3s. So that right there is, a plus to, what we're doing recruiting-wise.
You do have a lot of bodies. I mean, that definitely stands out the first 3 days for me. What also stands out is, guys like Chris Steele. Not only is he going against Drake London, now you've added Taj Washington and guys like that. As a defensive backs coach, is that something also that you look forward to seeing? Other guys that are coming in and challenging guys in different ways?
Definitely, because Drake, poses ex-basketball player, big body, definitely can shoot you for his body, can jump up, can definitely, just locate the football. Taj Washington's a different guy because he's a vertical threat. Anytime you're a vertical threat, you want to stay on top of people, and all of a sudden now they drop their weight, and now you got a short route problem. So, we definitely have a bunch of different type of receivers. So it poses a problem, for other teams, and hopefully, we adapt to how we should cover them ourselves.
Isaac missed the first couple of practices for a good reason. And Jaden Williams and Josh are filling in. Can you just talk about what the progression you've seen from Jaden Williams to start with?
Definitely someone that's progressing, and, forget football, like just as a person. As a person, he's definitely maturing a lot. And, that's a plus. That's what I'm looking for, to seeing out of him. It's just how he becomes as a person, because it's going to carry over to the field.
And Josh Jackson also came here as a wide receiver. In the springtime, that was the first time he's played cornerback for you guys. And I thought he looked actually pretty darn good for never playing cornerback in college. Where's he at right now?
Natural ball skills. And every day it's like, he's still learning. Because a lot of these guys, even though they maybe not seen nothing at USC, they've seen it before in the past. For him, every day is still learning, seeing different things, but you can tell that he's catching on because now in the meeting rooms, he's asking the right kind of questions. So he's definitely progressing as a player.
And the younger guys you brought in, we'll start off with Sierre. A lot of times guys like that come in and you don't necessarily need them to play, but sometimes they're good enough to. And Sierre, what does Sierre need to improve on to get to the point where he's going to be in the mix for playing time?
Definitely just making sure he understands everything what you're trying to do. Because we play a lot of different techniques, a lot of different ways from press, off, belling, and it's just pretty much just adapting. Because the more that he gets into his playbook and knows exactly what we're doing, the faster he'll be able to play, and true athletic ability will take over, which he has.
Another guy, Prophet Brown. I first learned about him when Mike Jinks was recruiting him as a running back. And so it's actually kind of surprising when you guys ended up getting him. Not that I'm surprised you ever get anybody, but can you talk about him as a cornerback for you guys?
Definitely. I mean, he showed up here at 166 pounds, and now all of a sudden he's someone that's 185 pounds. So that's a kudos to Coach Steiner, and we know what they did in the weight room. Like already in that little bit of time of over the summer is a kid that's damn near gained 20 pounds. So in just that little progression, his body has completely changed, and he's someone every day that's truly learning how to play a corner. If you watch him day 1 in the summer, it was like, oh my God, like maybe he does need to play running back. And now all of a sudden you look out here and he belongs. He belongs out here, and every day he's getting better and understanding what's going on.
You're very demanding. You have high expectations. What do you expect from your guys to provide this defense?
No explosive plays. So don't give up anything deep and start making sure that we make plays on the ball. Any takeaways? I mean, that's darn near what our job is, to make sure we eliminate the vertical passing game, but at the same time we take the ball away to give our potent offense chances to score.
What's the biggest way you're challenging Isaac this year?
Well, darn near, I mean, Isaac was another one that, as a person, he's matured light years. And, he was someone that maybe if he had a question, he just wouldn't ask and speak up about it. Now, Isaac's a totally different person. He speaks up about it. He's became a leader. He's someone that the younger guys ask questions. He's a whole different kind of teammate. And that you could tell. I mean, you could tell everything he does now. The teammates, how they cheer for him, how they everything, like, now it's one thing to belong. Isaac has taken over to where he's a leader here now.
You mentioned that he's been focusing on turning around better. His speed's always gotten him in position, but he hasn't always made the play. Is that a point of emphasis with him?
Definitely, because it's about the transition, and that comes with being comfortable. That comes with even me as a coach and making sure that, sometimes guys are so afraid to make a play that they almost, it's always just a mistake. Now he's getting to the point to where, he's comfortable to go ahead and take those chances. And 9 times out of 10, if Isaac's taking the chances, I put my money on Isaac to make the play.
Do you see him as a full-time guy there, or do you want a rotation of guys at that spot?
I'm a guy who likes playing a lot of guys. I've always been like that. I always will be like that. But Isaac's an NFL player, so it's my job to make sure that he reaches that potential.
You took on the title of associate head coach. I think I'm getting that right. And how has your role changed?
It's one thing to get the title. It's another thing to actually, take on the role. And, darn near the role has came because what Coach Clay has allowed me to do. So a lot of different things just involved in our program, whether it's from recruiting or just logistics or different things of what we're doing schedule-wise. It's just he's actually brought me into those meetings and, gave me the opportunity to where me and him could talk about through some things.
In what ways have you seen this program change since you got here?
Depth. In a little bit of time, our depth is completely different. And you can tell because when the threes come in, you almost don't see a different speed in which we play. So the depth has completely changed, which I think is drastically going to help our special teams also.
Was there a change in the mindset of these kids?
Definitely, because it's more competitive. Anytime it's more competitive, if you're the starter, you're never going to all of a sudden just lack off maybe for a play, a day, or anything because the guy behind you may even be more talented. He just may not have the knowledge that you have.
What have you seen from Joshua Jackson so far? You got some first team reps out there.
The whole time right now, Josh we kind of been rotating with the first team, but he's always been out there with the first team. And the biggest thing I've seen is still, it's starting to come a little more natural to him. It's a big difference between going backwards and going forward, and now he's starting to get used to pretty much going backwards. And once the ball's in there, he's a receiver.